between nanoplasty and keratin. Welcome to this SOS Live. My name is MJ. I'm a nanoplasty educator, and I'm here today, hairdresser, to teach you how to achieve the OMG effect in any hair type right on your first application. Welcome to the mood of MJ as a teacher for you today, because I know that nanoplasty generates lots of questions. What is that? Is that the same thing of keratin? And you are very interested to tell your clients exactly what is the real difference. Today I'm going to give you some very important points about what is the difference between them and the benefits as well. I'm not here to crucify keratin. Keratin was great for the whole time that has been on, but nanoplasty evolves, and it's a new technology that came to the market to be definitely a differentiation for what we have seen in the past. So let's go to the board for us to understand a little bit more. So I put here the keratin strand and the nanoplasty strand. When we have the keratin strand, we've got a hair fiber that needs to be prepared in some ways for you to apply the solution on top. What that makes us different, MJ? Let me tell you first on the keratin. The first step on keratin is clarify, shampoo the hair. This step is very, very important when you are doing keratin. Why? Because keratin is a short-term solution, which means that soon I'm going to have to do again. As a short-term solution, I need something that is not going to be so deep into the hair, because if something goes really deep into the hair, it's going to last longer. So I need something that is going to stay on the hair for a short period of time, so I can redo on my client a few times, and also it's going to rinse off 100% when it's out of the hair. So how the mechanism of keratin works. Keratin, for you that doesn't know, keratin is a protein. All of us, we have keratin in many places of our body. We've got on our nails, we've got on our hair, and we've got also on our skin, because keratin is very important, especially for the hair. It's a vital part of the hair, a vital protein on the hair. So keratin is obviously the advertisement name for it, but it's definitely something that contains in every hair fiber, regardless of the way it is. So let's go to the keratin. Sorry, we are in a salon and the hairdryer is something that you hear every time. So let's go to the board. When we have a keratin strand, we've got a strand that needs to be prepared. So how you do, you clarify, shampoo the hair. You make sure that you stretch the cuticles as much as possible. And a lot of people will say, oh, there is no way to strand or make the cuticles a bit stretched. Yes, there is. When you apply water and you apply a solution that it's high in cleansing solutions and agents, you enlarge the particle. So you apply something that is going to be mainly on the top of the hair, and you're going to apply something that is going to cover the fiber for a short period of time. And why it's covering the fiber? Because like that, it would be not a permanent solution. It would be a temporary solution. If you don't have anything to cover the hair, you will have something that penetrates the fiber way too deep. And if you do that, it's going to be a solution lasting much longer. So what is the issue when you cover the hair like that? The hair that is covered, they're going to start missing out to receive nutrients, especially from the outside. And a lot of people can say, but the hair doesn't receive anything from the outside. Guys, if we rely only on the diet that we have to make sure that our hair is going to be outstanding, I am so sorry, but the healthy reports say that we don't drink enough water, we don't eat enough nutrients, we don't have a good diet, which can impact on the healthiness of the strand. Yes, of course. But I'm talking about here a solution that can coat the hair from the outside. What happens to this hair over time? You have to do it over and over and over again, because it's a temporary solution. And you have a result that's going to last a very short period of time, which means that you're going to have to do at least 4 to 5 times in a year. So you are going through the process of straightening your hair 5 times in a year. And just by taking the iron part, imagine how many times this client is going through the process of ironing the hair, pulling the hair, and using that amount of heat in the fiber. So the more you use on the heat, the more iron you use on the hair, especially on that level that we have to use even for keratin, because even on keratin, we use the intensity of the iron a few times on the hair. What happens to the hair strand? It will start reducing the size. And that's why someone that uses keratin for a long time, they will notice that the ends of the hair are always breaking. It's always very brittle and always very dry. And what is the issue of that? The issue of that is your hair will not be able to grow a lot. You're going to have, in a certain period of time, I'm not talking about when you do for the first time. I'm talking about when you do for the 5th, for the 10th time. Your hair will start looking dry, and the ends will not feel nourished and enriched with nutrients. So what happens is you're cutting all the ends of this hair all the time to try to make sure to maintain the longevity of the solution. But the problem is, imagine if I put something amazing on top of a hair that has been coated. What happened to this product? I'm not doing anything to the hair. The hair is not responding enough to the treatment, because the cuticles are coated in some levels. So that makes you wasting a lot of money for you in your salon and also your client, because what you're giving to your clients is a bath of shine, not actually nutrition for your strand. This is so important. This is vital for you to make sure that you understand that sorry, I lost my concentration. What I was talking about. Okay, so when you use a lot of products on top of a solution that coated the hair, you are wasting your product. And when you recommend really, really great products to your client at home, if the product is enriched with a lot of silicons, they're going to feel that the hair is amazing. And even if you say to me, but MJ, hold on. My client has been doing keratin for the last 20 years, and I love the hair, how it feels, but it's a dark hair. So I would say to you, I would challenge someone that is using keratin for 2-3 years and bleach the hair. Oh, it's not compatible. It's not about not being compatible. You know what really happens? What happens is a hair that it's like this, that it doesn't have much nutrition on the fiber. This hair, unfortunately, will not sustain the heating process of bleach. This hair will unfortunately be weaker. So you can ask me, MJ, do you recommend keratin in any circumstance? Of course I do. If you are planning to do for your client one-off, something that they're going to do just for the holidays and they want to wash off 100%, do it. That's fine. This is normally how the old systems used to work. They used to rely on acids that makes the hair strand coated. What is the whole new thing on nanoplasty? How can I explain that to my client? So that's what nanoplasty does to the hair. You have the hair strand. You have the hair strand. The hair strand is exactly the same on keratin. You have the hair strand exactly the same. When you apply nanoplasty to this hair, what happens is the product dives inside of the hair strand. And if you never saw a hair strand before, the hair strand has many layers of cuticles and they have cortex. And each cortex has their own strand because the hair is like a rope. You know, many ropes together, that together they create one line. So normally a rope is a combination of many strands together. So this is a hair. That's why we have split ends. If it wasn't like that, we wouldn't have split ends. It will have one whole thing. We do have split ends because there is many strands inside of one thing that it's called hair strand. So the product goes inside of the cortex, which is deeper, much deeper than the layer of cuticle. So, okay, MJ, so what that means to my client, it means that we're going to have a intracellular nutrition on the hair, not an outside nutrition. I'm going to implement something that is inside of the strand, not on the outside. That's why your outside is free to receive bleach, to receive color, to receive extensions. What is the difference then, MJ? We have a solution that coats the hair temporarily and rinse it out 100%. And we've got a solution here that penetrates deeper inside of the hair and are capable to leave your hair free for other systems, other treatments, and other services. Okay, so MJ, for my client to understand, how is the hair after a few months? So the keratin, the hair is like this. You apply the keratin, the hair becomes like that, wavy. Then if you stretch a little bit more using more heat, you can make the hair straight by tension, because that's what it does. Imagine a hair that it's like a wire, and you pull the hair to become straight. So you're forcing the hair to become straight. It's different on nanoplasty. Nanoplasty penetrates the hair and it softens the bonds, that is the ingredient that makes the hair curly. So it's the mechanism on the hair that makes the hair curly. So it softens these bonds temporarily as well. So what we do, so then this hair, when it starts washing off, it returns to the original state. So it goes back to the original place. What happens on nanoplasty is, and a lot of people have doubt on that, because this is what they think that it happens. The hair starts curly. They do nanoplasty. The hair grows, and they have a demarcation line. This is not what happened on nanoplasty by Floractive. I am sorry if you are watching this live and you had a bad experience of having your hair pin straight like that after nanoplasty. This is not a nanoplasty solution. This is definitely not the outcome that we provide as creators of the nanoplasty. So that's what happens to the hair. The hair is curly. Then they lose the curl. Then they start returning again. But instead of very tight, they return 70%. Why it returns only 70%, MJ? Because you have something that changed the form of the hair. Alright? A very important part. Do I clarify shampoo the hair prior? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Clarifying shampoo is not permitted on nanoplasty. And if you are using today a nanoplasty that requires you to clarify shampoo the hair, I am sorry. You're not using a nanoplasty solution. Nano comes from size of the molecule. A nano size means that is the smallest size a particle can become. So you have a particle. If you start reducing them to become a nano size, it means that there is no need of clarifying shampoo, because a nano size is capable to penetrate the hair with no issue at all. So if you are clarifying shampoo the hair prior to nanoplasty by Floractive, you're having a reduction of 60% of the proper outcome. Very important for you to know that. So for your client, transferring in easy words for your clients, what is the difference then? It's a solution that is going to last on your hair from 8 to 12 months. What is the difference then? The difference is you're not coating the hair. You have something that has better longevity, which is going to have you not to come back every 4 months to iron your hair all over again and damage your fiber even more using an excess heat. You're also not going to have a solution that it's coating your hair. So if you change your mind and decide to do bleach on your hair, you are free to do. If you want to color your hair on the same day, you are 100% possible, because the solution is not coating the layers of the cuticle. So then the color will be able to penetrate the hair. So what is the difference then? You understood the difference. The difference is keratin was great, but now we have nanoplasty. And why everyone is changing their solutions from keratin to nanoplasty? Because if you search Floractive history, you will see that from the last 20 years, we haven't changed the word. The word is nanoplasty from day one. We never sold keratin. Why you think a lot of people are changing the word? Because it's in a hype, obviously. It's a solution that can show results. Your client can see the results, especially if they were once addictive to keratin before. So very important for us to understand that. It lasts longer. It gives your hair the freedom to bleach. And you also are not coating your fiber. So anything that you sell to your client here for home care, they're going to use and it's going to penetrate on the hair. But then I cannot deny that a lot of you send your clients home without selling home care. You will rely on whatever they are using. And then when they come back and they say to you, why my hair is not shiny? They're going to probably feel as similar to keratin. Oh, the hair feels dry. Obviously, you've been swimming in the swimming pool, jumping in the ocean, sleeping with your hair wet without using anything proper. So, but this is another subject. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about home care today and not the day today. So nanoplasty, when Floractive developed the word, nano came from nano solution, nano size. Plastic came from transformation. That was the trigger for the word, for the creation of the word. So why it's better? First, we don't clarify shampoo the hair. So first of all, we leave the hair with all the nutrition that the hair already have. Second, we apply a solution that has capability of penetrating the deepest layer of the cortex and actually giving proper nutrition for the hair. Third, we rinse the solution 100% out after the processing time because we allow the product to penetrate the hair to the deepest layer of the cortex, and we give nutrition to the cuticles of the hair. Then we can rinse the solution out. We don't rely on the solution on the hair. Why, MJ, we don't? Because every time you leave solution on the hair and you come with the hair iron for this hair, you create rust. So the hair changes the color. Also, it's not supposed to change. It's not supposed to change the color. Obviously, if you have a gray hair that has been tinted color with dark, or if your hair is really, really, really damaged and you need to use a little bit more of high heat, you can have an overtone. But there is an easy solution for that. You can color on the same day. Absolutely on the same day. Another important question, MJ. A lot of people say that there is no need of washing the hair after. And I would say something to you as a professional. If someone comes to do color with you and they finish the color and they have that cap, you know, with all the foils, and they say to you, I need to run. I'm very busy. I've got something to do. You say to them, okay, don't worry. At home, you rinse this bleach or you rinse this color. Would you say that to them? No. MJ, it's completely different. The hair is sealed and everything that we could do has been done. It's completely different. I understand that you might be justifying the laziness of not washing the hair at the end with that. But the truth is, you have a solution that you left inside of the hair that are still acting on the fiber. And if you don't equalize this hair to go back to the normal stage where they came in, if they do anything outside of your salon, it's going to impact on your work. And it's going to splash back on what you've done. So someone paid you $500 to have the hair done with nanoplasty. You're going to finalize with a good treatment. If you do that on keratin, I understand. If you try to treat the hair after keratin, you simply...
2 questions.
Okay, good.
What is the best shampoo and conditioner to use? We also love to know more about home care in the future.
Okay, great.
From Vanessa. And the second one from Vanessa is, how long is left into the hair? Some people say 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, great question. Vanessa, I'm going to do a promise to you. I'm going to screw up my team. They're going to kill me. But next live, it's going to be about home care. Can we do that, guys?
Yay!
Woo! They are laughing, but like, I'm going to keep... They would hate me because of that. But if you guys are interested in home care, we're going to talk about home care. I will not promise on the next live because we have everything organized. But I'm going to talk about home care very soon. So you guys will understand exactly what you need to do for you to continue the treatment at home. All right? Important for you to notice that. Now, the time. We developed the solution to penetrate the hair in about an hour. But let's draw something here with me. Not every hair will have the same layers of cuticles. Some heads, they have double or triple layers of cuticles on the fiber. So me, I don't have a lot of layers of cuticles on my head. That's why my hair is thin. Someone like my sister has very thick strand, and I'm not talking about the amount of hair. This is what I need you guys to be very clear. The amount of hair doesn't matter. The strand, that is what we count. If the strand is thick, we consider as a thick hair. So the thicker the hair strand is, more layers of cuticles this hair has, which means that the longer you're gonna leave it on. We programmed nanoplasty to penetrate any hair strand in 1 hour. But some Egyptian hair types, Jordan, someone from Middle East that has a really thick strand, they might need a little bit longer. So you can leave it on from 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. Max is 1 hour and a half. If you leave it a little bit longer, the product stops working at 1 hour and a half. And if you leave it on 3 hours thinking that you're doing great for your client, you're doing shit. Or if you leave it on for 1 hour and a half and thinking that it's going to be the best for that client that has the hair like mine, you're just wasting 30 minutes of their lives. All right, so 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. Can I leave it on for 45 minutes, MJ? Of course you can. But you might not expect at the end to have the full result, because 1 hour is the right time for the full nanoplasty straightening method. Now, the question that I receive the most is, MJ, my client doesn't want to have nanoplasty. They've got a really nice hair and they want to have just a smoothing result. They don't want to go for the full straightening result. How can I do that? Do I use keratin? What should I do then? Because my client wants this result. After a few months, the hair washes off because she's going to Bali and she just wants to have the hair straight for a few weeks. How can I do then? You're going to use nanoplasty as well. Why? Nanoplasty is triggered by the intensity of the heat that you use on the fiber. And I'm not saying that for you to use 250 degrees 300 times passing on the straightener, because the last one that I heard was 250 20 to 30 times in each strand. Seriously. Why? You don't need that amount of heat. But you probably will need more than 160 degrees to make the hair straight. So if you are planning to do nanoplasty, you can have 3 different services in one bottle. That's why nanoplasty is so popular today. Because you save a lot when you have one solution that suits everyone. So you have one solution that can make the hair fully straight. You have the same solution that can make the hair wavy or smooth and keep the curls in place. And you have a solution that can enhance the curls that your client have. I'm not talking about perming the hair, creating curls where it doesn't exist. But I'm talking about someone has a really curly hair, but this hair is really frizzy and they don't see the curl properly. They can use the method. And that's what I'm going to do for you. If you want to know more about that, type the word nanoplasty here. And my team is going to send you the step-by-step for these 3 categories. Full straightening, smoothing, and enhancing of the curl. So make sure that you guys are aware of that. And you know that there is a possibility of changing the method. I hope that this explained to you guys the difference. And I would say, very honestly to you guys, if you was just by the fact that on nanoplasty, you don't have to do the hair 4 times in a year. You don't need to use that amount of heat. The client doesn't need to go through the process of coming to the salon and staying there for too long to be back in 2-3 months. Only by that, if it wasn't by the whole technology, if it was only by that, would be worth it, right? Would be worth it. Obviously that you need to keep up your prices, because if your client are not coming back 5 times in a year, you need to make sure that your client valued the time that you are spending on the hair, making sure that they're going to have some freedom for much longer time. So this is the best explanation that I could explain to you, the real differences between nanoplasty and keratin, for you to be able to make your decision and also be able to explain to your clients. So when you explain to your clients, you say, the old system used to coat the hair. Nanoplasty penetrates the hair. That's why when Floractive developed the word, they created thinking about a nano solution. There is any relevant questions there?
One comment. I just had this done with your product.
Yeah?
They fried my hair.
Okay. So the best thing for us is, I can have the solution in the hands of a lot of different hairdressers. My solution today in Australia has been used for almost 10,000 hairdressers. And if that was the first comment I received in the trial time where we were trialing the product, I would say, "Ooh, let's investigate what happened." But based on the experience of exposing this solution to the Australian market, I know that there is great professionals and not so great. So I feel very sorry that you have been through this experience, but what I can say to you is it was due to the technique, because the same solution that they used on your hair is exactly the one that I've used on my hair, is exactly the same one that my sister is using on the hair of a client right now, and the hair is not fried. So what we do in this circumstance, we investigate, where have you done this? Because my interest is not to punish the hairdresser. It's actually give her training and say, hey, you have a gold liquid in your hand and you are not using it properly. So let us know the name of the salon, who has done the treatment on you. We're going to get in touch with the salon to fix that, because we can. The products that we have is able to help you. But the next time, let me tell you a tip. Look for a nanoplasty specialist.
Can I use nanoplasty for my client? The pre-release used keratin about 11 months ago.
100% you can. You can do nanoplasty on top of keratin after 1 month, or as long as the hair is healthy enough to receive the treatment. And even if the hair is not healthy enough, you do a very good pre-treatment on the hair to fix the issue. Because if you believe that pre-treatment it's actually just a story that we created, try to do a nanoplasty in a hair that it's very damaged and watch this hair in a few months.
Another one. Does it fade color like keratin?
It doesn't fade color like keratin. It can, as I say, it can fade the color if the steps are not followed properly. If you leave a lot of product on, if you don't apply enough product, or if you don't use the heat protection. MJ, what is the situations where the hair can change? When is gray underneath, dark color on the top, or when the hair is heavily colored for a long time. But the way to fix that, it's very easy. You can color the hair straight away after on the same day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I think
That's it.
Let me see. Maybe one girl eats cherry. Just say thank you, MJ. It's okay to use K18 before nanoplast.
Okay. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I'm not going to say that I don't like K18. I love K18 products. They are amazing. Technology behind is incredible. But the problem is, I never took K18 products to the lab to examine the product and see how is the size of the molecules of the solution that they tie to work on the peptides. I don't know. So I might be saying to you, yes, use it. It's amazing. And then you try to nanoplasty the hair, but the hair is coated with that solution, trying to fix something on the hair. The best solution that you have right now to be a alternative for the K18 will be the 20-in-1, the BB cream. 20-in-1 will do exactly what you are trying to achieve with the K18 and is 100% compatible with Floractive because we developed for them to work together. Hope you guys enjoy this live. Enjoy the explanation and the questions. And I will invite you. There is any other question?
No, but Indira asked to join. Maybe next time.
Next time. Yes, I can. Perfect. I will invite you guys to join next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this live, and I'll see you next Tuesday on the next SOS Flora. Bye.
One more.
Sorry,
the last one. One more, MJ. Can I still do foils on my clients after nanoplasty?
2 weeks after the nanoplasty, you can foil the hair, but obviously do a test strand, see the vitality of the hair. If you feel that the hair needs any extra support, you can do the pre-treatment prior to the bleach. Hope I help you guys and explain all the questions. Love you all. See you on the next SOS Flora. Bye.